Okay, so today we're really diving deep into the world of generative AI and AI
It's
agents.
something intense.
It is, it is. I mean, forget all the, science fiction stuff.
Right.
This is really about how AI is, changing how things get done, like right now.
Uh-huh.
Like right now across industries.
Yeah, it's happening now.
And we've got this
Every time.
yeah, we've got this program outline from the Aegis School of Data Science and AI.
Okay.
And one thing's for sure,
Yeah.
you want to understand, the future of work, how innovation's going to happen.
Mm.
You got to get this stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. And for anyone listening who wants to really understand this,
Right?
but, without getting lost in the technical details, I
Yeah.
think that's what we're aiming for here.
Yeah.
You'll pull up the really essential things
Right.
about this whole AI revolution,
Yeah.
why it matters, what it means, what's driving it.
And it's not just a feeling like,
Right.
oh, this is a big deal. I mean, this outline actually throws out a crazy statistic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the demand for people who know Gen AI
Okay.
and these, LLMs, large language models,
Mm-hmm.
shot up like 400%
Wow.
in the last year.
In just 1 year. That's incredible.
Just last year. Yeah, 400%. Think about that.
Yeah, that's a huge increase. That's a major signal.
Yeah. So that tells you something big is happening.
For sure.
So let's just start with the big picture.
Okay, yeah.
This AI revolution,
Yeah.
it's not, it's not coming.
Right.
It's here.
It's already here.
And it's happened.
And at scale, like,
huge scale.
you can really see it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating to me how fast Gen AI
Right.
is moving from being like experimental to something that's like essential, like
Yeah.
basic.
Right.
This document calls it the operating system
Wow.
of modern enterprises.
Okay.
I mean, think about it. AI is it's in everything, from like how creative content is made.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, think about AI like generating, marketing stuff, or
Right.
even first drafts of articles,
Sure.
to something as complicated as like legal analysis.
Okay.
Like, imagine AI helping lawyers
Right.
quickly sift through thousands of case documents,
Yeah.
find relevant precedents,
Yeah.
which used to take days or weeks even.
Right. Right.
I mean, that's the kind of scale we're talking about.
that really gives you an idea of like
Yeah.
the scale of impact.
Exactly. Huge scale.
And it's not just about like changing existing jobs,
Right.
it's creating like completely new ones.
Totally.
I mean, companies are racing to build their own AI tools.
Yeah.
Like copilots, that's what they call them,
Huh?
that help employees
Yeah.
and agents, which can automate whole workflows.
Right.
So people who can build and manage those AI systems,
Mhm.
their skills are rare. And like that 400% number
It's
shows you in demand.
Yeah. If you connect that back to like the even bigger picture,
Right.
it's about a fundamental change in how humans are interacting with computers.
Right.
I mean, we're moving towards a world where we can just talk to technology
Yeah.
or type
Yeah.
like we would to another person,
Right.
using natural language.
Yeah.
And that's all powered by these LLMs,
Right.
these large language models and AI agents.
So just to break it down a little bit,
Sure.
LLMs are like,
Think of them like giant digital libraries
okay.
that have learned to understand and generate human-like text
Uh-huh.
by reading tons and tons of information.
Right.
And that shift, I mean, that's promising a much easier and efficient way of working for everyone.
Okay, so we get that it's huge. It's happening fast.
Right.
But what's fueling this surge in generative AI and AI agents right now? What's driving this?
Well, this document, it actually starts with a great quote from Elon Musk. He says, "Generative AI is the most powerful tool for creativity that has ever been created.
Wow.
It has the potential to unleash a new era of human innovation."
Okay.
And that really gets to the core of it,
It does, yeah.
It's about like unlocking creativity
Right.
and problem solving.
Yeah, I mean, it really speaks to this possibility of like, breakthroughs we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That we can't even imagine yet.
Right.
And the document emphasizes this revolutionary impact across all kinds of industries. And this isn't just, speculation.
Right.
They say over 70% of enterprises
Okay.
are expected to have implemented Gen AI solutions by 2025,
Okay. So,
which is That's right around the corner.
That's really soon.
Yeah, super fast.
Yeah, and when you look at the specific ways that they're being used,
Yeah,
it makes
for
sense.
sure.
The outline details how GenAI is speeding up content creation.
Right.
It's like everything from marketing stuff to technical documents
Mhm.
make software development more efficient.
Okay.
It's changing customer service with those smarter chatbots,
Yeah.
and it's even improving the way businesses make decisions
Hmm.
by using AI to analyze all that data they have.
That's right. Using AI to make sense of all that data.
Yeah, and we keep coming back to this point
Yeah.
about the need for people who know this stuff.
Absolutely. The skills gap is real.
Yeah, the demand for people who understand and can actually work with these technologies,
Hmm.
it's way bigger than the supply right now.
Way bigger.
So this is a major opportunity for people who are willing to learn it.
Huge opportunity. Yeah.
And the potential to boost productivity,
Right.
especially for knowledge-based tasks.
Yes, absolutely.
The document says up to 40% increase.
That's massive.
Yeah, that's massive.
That's a game changer for any organization.
Okay, so it's clear why there's so much excitement.
Yeah.
But let's get down to like the specifics. Which industries are actually looking for people with Gen AI expertise?
Right.
Where are these skills being used right now?
Okay, so the document gives us a really good breakdown of this.
Okay.
Let's start with healthcare.
Okay.
The idea is for Gen AI to help with things like diagnostic support,
Okay.
helping doctors analyze like complex medical images
Yeah.
faster and more accurately,
Right.
and also in optimizing patient care
Okay.
by, personalizing treatment plans based on patient data.
So like AI is helping with the early detection of disease,
Exactly, yeah.
potentially saving lives.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, that's a huge impact.
Yeah, that's profound.
Yeah.
What about in finance?
So in finance, a big focus is on risk assessment.
Okay.
AI can analyze huge amounts of financial data
Uh-huh.
to find, potential risks and opportunities
Right.
much better than traditional methods.
Okay.
And then there's also this drive towards creating more personalized banking solutions, tailoring services and advice to individual customers' financial situations.
So it's really about making things more efficient.
Exactly. And more tailored to the individual.
Right, that makes sense. What about in e-commerce?
Yeah, and e-commerce.
Like online shopping and all that?
Yeah, online shopping, they're using Gen AI to make like much more personalized recommendations.
Okay.
So it makes your shopping experience feel more like tailored to you,
Right,
to
right.
your interests and your past purchases.
Okay.
And then those AI-powered chatbots, they're getting better and better
Right.
at handling customer service questions.
Yeah, so you get quicker and more helpful support.
That's the idea.
Okay, what about education? I feel like that's another one.
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Ripe for like transformation.
Yeah, definitely. This document highlights the potential of like adaptive learning platforms
Okay.
where AI can adjust the curriculum
Yeah.
and the pace of learning
Right.
to meet each student's individual needs.
Okay, so it's really personalized.
Yeah, so it's more effective and engaging.
Right.
And then there's also, the possibility of automated assessment, which could free up teachers to spend more time on direct interaction and support for their students.
Right, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then finally, telecom. What about in the telecom industry?
Right. So in telecom, the focus is on optimizing network performance.
Okay.
So using AI to like predict and prevent outages
Right.
and make sure that service delivery is smooth.
Okay.
And just like in e-commerce, there's a push towards automating and improving customer service
Right.
through AI-powered systems
Yeah.
that can handle, all sorts of technical and account-related issues.
So it sounds like the application of Gen AI skills
Yeah.
is really broad.
Very broad.
And it touches like almost every sector.
Almost everything, yeah.
Okay, so now for someone listening who's thinking,
Okay.
okay, this is clearly how things are going, but how do I get these skills?
Yeah, good question.
This program outlined from Aegis,
Hmm.
it lays out a pretty comprehensive curriculum.
It does, yeah.
Can you give us like a high-level overview of how it's structured?
Yeah, the program is structured across 3 terms.
Okay.
The first term is called Foundations and Tools,
Okay.
and that's all about building, those essential skills.
Right.
So that includes things like mastering Python,
Right.
which is a key programming language for AI,
Okay.
understanding the core concepts of machine learning and deep learning.
Right.
Those are the algorithms that power AI.
Okay.
And then getting introduced to generative AI
Okay.
and becoming familiar with LLMs like GPT, Claude, and Gemini.
Okay, so those are like specific.
Those are specific models, yeah.
Okay.
Powerful AI models trained on a massive amount of data
Right.
so they can understand and generate human-like language.
Okay, so that first term is really laying the groundwork.
Exactly, it's the foundation.
What comes next in the second term?
Okay, so the second term is called Advanced Gen AI Development.
Okay.
And this is where you start to like specialize
Okay.
and dive into more advanced techniques,
Okay.
like fine-tuning these LLMs for specific tasks.
Right.
You know, it's like you're taking a really smart student,
Okay.
the LLM,
Yeah.
and giving them extra training
Okay.
on a specific subject.
Correct.
So they become an expert in that area.
Right. So like I could take an LLM and say, okay,
Right.
now I want you to be an expert on,
So exactly.
legal documents.
Exactly, or medical reports, yeah.
Okay, cool.
And you'll also learn about retrieval augmented generation,
Okay. What is that?
RJ, yeah.
RJ.
It's basically like giving the AI access to a set of specific documents.
Okay.
So its answers are always based on like reliable information,
Right.
not just its general knowledge.
Right.
It's like giving it a library card to a specific section of the library.
Right.
So we can really focus. You'll also explore vector databases,
Okay.
which is like a special database
Right.
that understands the meaning of words.
Go.
So the AI can find information based on concepts, not just keywords.
Right. So it's more about like the meaning behind the words.
Exactly. It's understanding what you mean, not just what you say.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
And then you start actually building practical applications
Right.
using open source AI models.
So that's where the hands-on really
That's where it gets really hands-on.
starts. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about the final term?
Okay, so the third term is called AI agents and deployment.
Okay.
And this is where everything kind of comes together.
Okay.
You learn about different frameworks for building AI agents,
Right.
which are, AI systems that can do complex tasks on their own.
So like independently?
Yeah, autonomously.
Okay.
You'll learn about orchestration, which is how you manage multiple AI agents
Okay.
to work together.
So you might have like a bunch of agents working on.
Exactly. You've got a
Okay.
team of agents
Right. Different things.
all working together.
Yeah.
You'll also cover LLMs.
LLMs.
Yeah, which is basically how you manage and deploy
Yeah.
these large language models
Right.
in real-world systems.
Okay.
And cloud deployment, which is getting your AI applications to run on cloud infrastructure.
Right.
And then it all culminates in this big capstone project
Right.
where you'll apply everything you've learned.
So the capstone project sounds like a really critical part.
Yeah, it is. It's putting everything together.
You're moving beyond just understanding it. You're actually building something.
Exactly. It's applying the knowledge, building something real.
And the outline even gives some cool examples of what those projects could be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can you walk us through a couple of those?
Sure. One example is an AI legal advisor,
Okay.
which uses that RAG technique,
Right.
retrieval augmented generation,
Right.
along with a powerful language model like GPT-4
Okay.
to create a system that can, retrieve legal information and analyze legal documents.
So it's like an AI-powered research assistant.
Exactly.
That could really speed up legal work.
For sure, make things much more efficient.
What's another example?
Another interesting one is an autonomous coding assistant.
Okay.
So this is an AI agent
Mhm.
that's designed to understand programming requirements,
Okay.
generate code,
Right.
help developers debug their code,
Right.
and even explain complex code solutions.
So it's like having an AI co-pilot.
Exactly. It's like having an AI pair programmer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The outline also mentions a medical report generator,
Right.
which could analyze medical data and generate reports.
Yeah. Automating that whole process.
And a personalized shopping assistant
No.
that uses smaller language models to give tailored product recommendations.
Right. So it's making those recommendations more specific to you.
So these examples really highlight how diverse these technologies are.
Across all these different sectors.
And they're not just academic exercises.
No, not at all.
Yeah. These capstone projects,
Yeah.
they're like a key piece of your professional portfolio.
Right.
Showing future employers that you not only understand it,
You can actually do it.
but you can do.
You have the skills.
Yeah.
That's really important.
So for anyone who's investing time and effort into learning this stuff,
Yeah.
having, some kind of recognized validation is important.
Yeah, absolutely.
This program offers a postgraduate certificate
Right.
from Aegis School of Data Science and AI.
Okay.
What's the significance of that credential?
So the postgraduate certificate from Aegis is actually really significant
Okay.
because Aegis was the first dedicated school for data science and AI in India.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's a well-respected institution.
Okay.
And this certification, it shows that you have the knowledge and the skills
Right.
in Gen AI and AI agents.
Right.
It tells employers that you've been through a tough program
Right.
and you've got the skills they need.
So it's not just like a certificate to hang on the wall.
No, it's much more than that.
That's signal.
Yeah, it's a signal that you have a valuable and in-demand skill set.
Okay.
It shows you've not only learned the theory, but you can actually apply it. You
Right.
can build AI-powered solutions.
Right. It shows that you're serious about this.
Yeah, it shows commitment.
The outline also points out some key program metrics,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple really stand out. The 11-month program duration,
Okay.
that 400% growth in job demand,
Yeah, which is huge.
and a 100% practical focus.
100%. Wow.
Yeah, so what does that, like, that emphasis on practical learning,
That's really important.
what does that actually mean?
It means that the program isn't just lectures, you know?
Right.
It's all about hands-on learning.
Okay.
You'll be doing real-world case studies,
Mm-hmm.
building and deploying AI models, tackling real challenges
Right.
with the help of experienced instructors.
So you graduate not just knowing the concepts. Exactly.
But with the ability to use them.
You can actually apply it in the real world.
Right.
That's the key.
So who is this program actually for?
Yeah.
What kind of background do you need to have to join?
It's designed to be accessible to, a lot of different professionals.
Okay.
Who are interested in AI
Right.
and willing to learn.
Okay.
The prerequisites are pretty straightforward, a
Oh.
passion for AI,
Okay.
basic programming knowledge, Python is definitely helpful,
Right.
and a willingness to learn new things.
So you don't have to be like a super experienced programmer
No, not at all.
to get into this?
Nope.
Okay.
They welcome people from all sorts of backgrounds.
Right.
Software development, data analysis, business intelligence,
Hmm.
product management, any field where AI can make a difference.
Right. So even if you're not in tech right now,
Exactly.
you could still get into this. And
Yeah, if you're interested in AI
Yeah.
and you want to learn,
Yeah.
you're welcome. And they know that a lot of people who are interested
Yeah.
are already working professionals.
Right. Most likely.
So the program is designed to be flexible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's designed for working professionals.
Okay.
The core training, which is 9 months,
Right.
is on weekends and evenings.
Right. So you don't have to quit your job
Exactly. You can keep working.
to do this.
Yep.
And then there's a 2-month period for the capstone project with,
Ah.
with mentoring and collaboration.
Yeah, you get support from experts and you can work with other people in the program.
And there's also an optional in-person part.
Right. There's an optional 2-week campus immersion
Okay.
at their campuses in Mumbai or Bangalore.
Right. Right.
So you can do like intensive workshops
Okay.
and network with other people in the program.
Okay, cool. So there are a lot of programs out there.
Yeah, there are a lot of options.
For learning about AI,
Mhm.
what are some of the reasons why someone might choose Aegis specifically?
Okay, so Aegis has a lot of expertise in this area.
Okay.
They were the first dedicated school for this field in India,
Right.
and they have strong connections in the industry.
Okay.
They're also known for innovation.
Okay.
They created Assess-Fi, which is an AI-powered platform for measuring learning outcomes.
Right. So they're not just teaching it. They're
Exactly.
actually using it.
They're practicing what they preach.
Right. And those industry connections are a big plus
Huge plus.
for people in the program.
Yeah, because it gives them insights into what's actually happening in the industry.
Right.
And it can open doors to jobs.
Right.
Aegis has a really impressive alumni network
Okay.
with graduates working at companies like Google, Microsoft, Accenture, and Fractal.
So for someone who's, listening to this
Yeah.
and feeling inspired and wants to, take the next step,
Yeah.
what should they do?
So the document says apply now
Okay.
to get a spot in the program.
Okay.
They can also schedule a call with an advisor to talk about their career goals
Right.
and explore financial options like scholarships and discounts.
And what about the admissions process?
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's actually pretty simple.
Okay.
You fill out an online application, upload your CV,
Okay.
you do a quick technical assessment on Python,
Right.
and then you have an interview
Okay.
to talk about your goals.
Right.
And once that's done, you can enroll. The
Okay.
whole thing takes about 1 to 2 weeks,
Okay.
and they have new cohorts starting every month.
Right. Okay, cool. Let's talk about, the investment.
Right.
The money.
The tuition fee.
Yeah. What's the tuition fee for this program?
So the tuition fee is 5.5 lakhs
Okay.
plus taxes,
Okay.
but they do offer flexible payment options,
Right.
like installment plans and corporate sponsorship.
So your company might even pay for it.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Okay, and what does that investment actually get you?
It gets you all the course materials, the resources you need for the projects,
Hmm.
the postgraduate certificate when you finish,
Right.
and mentorship and support from experts.
Okay, cool.
So you're not just on your own, you get help along the way.
And this program, it really emphasizes learning by doing, this
And-
project-based approach.
Yeah.
Why is that so important?
Because in AI, practical experience is key. You're not just learning the theory,
Yeah.
you're actually building stuff.
Right.
You're applying your knowledge to solve real problems.
Right.
And you end up with a portfolio of projects
Mm-hmm.
that you can show to employers.
So it bridges that gap between knowing something
Exactly.
and being able to actually do it.
Theory and practice.
Okay, so to wrap this all up,
Yeah.
what's the most important takeaway for our listener from this whole conversation?
I think the big takeaway is that generative AI and AI agents,
Mm-hmm.
this isn't just the future, it's happening now.
Right.
And it's a huge opportunity
Right.
for anyone who wants to upskill and innovate.
Right.
But the demand for these skills is real and it's growing fast.
Yeah.
So this is a chance for people to, grow their careers
Mm-hmm.
and be a part of something big,
Right.
something that's changing the world.
Yeah, it's a pretty exciting time to be involved in this.
Absolutely.
So, final thought for our listener today.
Okay.
As you've been listening to us talk about all this,
Mm-hmm.
these capabilities of GenAI and AI agents,
Mm-hmm.
think about your own work.
Right.
The challenges you see,
Uh-huh.
the opportunities.
Yeah.
What problems could you solve with AI?
Right.
What new things could you create?
Yeah.
Think about your own potential
Mm-hmm.
to shape the future with these tools.
Yeah, think beyond what we've talked about.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Exactly. What's your unique contribution?
Yeah, what's your unique contribution?
It's exciting to think about.
Yeah.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Really.
It's a pretty amazing time to be alive.
It is.
In terms of technology, yeah, it's mind-blowing what's happening.
Yeah, and it's only going to accelerate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, think about your role in all of this.
Be a part of it.
Yeah, be a part of it.
It's an invitation.